In the quiet streets of Utah, a mystery has been brewing, one that has captured the imagination of locals and left investigators baffled. They call it the Rooftop Assassin Mystery. A shadowy figure spotted late at night, perching on rooftops, watching, waiting. Nobody knows who they are or why they've chosen this city as their stage. But whispers have turned into fear, and fear into legend. It started with strange sightings. Residents swore they saw a hooded figure moving across the rooftops, vanishing before anyone could react. At first, people dismissed it as paranoia or the tricks of streetlights. But when strange accidents began to occur, windows shattered, rooftops marked with cryptic symbols, the mystery took a darker turn. The community began to wonder, was there really an assassin hiding among them? Or was it just the work of rumor and imagination running wild? Now, stories of the rooftop assassin have spread beyond Utah, becoming a viral sensation online. Videos, blurry photos, and endless theories fuel the fire. Some claim the figure is tied to an underground organization. Others insist it's a vigilante, punishing those who deserve it. And a few whisper that it's something even stranger: ghost, a myth, a story meant to distract from the truth. But one thing is certain: the mystery isn't going away. Every night, people look up, wondering if the shadow on the rooftop is just a trick of the moonlight or the assassin. Waiting for their next move, it began like something out of a ghost story. A few scattered reports from residents in a quiet Utah neighborhood claims of a figure moving swiftly across rooftops in the dead of night. At first, nobody took it seriously. Neighbors laughed it off as kids playing pranks or someone sneaking around after curfew. But the details were too consistent to ignore. Everyone described the same thing: a shadowy silhouette, tall and lean, perched on the edge of a roof like a bird of prey, watching silently before vanishing into the night. The first incident came from a couple walking their dog at 2 a.m. They swore they saw someone crouched on the roof of a grocery store, staring down at them. When they looked closer, the figure stood, spread their arms as if mocking them, and disappeared across the rooftops faster than they thought possible. The couple called the police, but by the time officers arrived, the rooftop was empty. Footprints. No signs of forced entry. Nothing. Days later, another report surfaced, this time from a delivery driver. He claimed that as he was unloading boxes behind a diner, something shattered the back window above him. When he looked up, he saw the same hooded figure standing on the roof. The delivery driver dropped everything and ran, later telling his boss it wasn't human. The way it moved, it was like it was floating. By now, whispers of the rooftop assassin began to spread. The name came from local teenagers who shared stories online, embellishing the sightings with talk of cadings, with talk of tramp weapons, coded messages, and unsolved crimes. What was once a strange neighborhood, rumor was quickly becoming a viral urban legend. Police issued statements downplaying the incidents, calling them unsubstantiated and urging residents not to panic. But their dismissive attitude only fueled more suspicion. Why were they so quick to write it off? Was there something they weren't telling the public? The tension in the community escalated when cryptic symbols began appearing on buildings. Spray painted in black, the marks looked like a mix of letters and numbers, indecipherable to most but eerily deliberate. The most chilling detail? The marks always appeared on rooftops where sightings had been reported. Locals began to believe the figure was leaving a trail, or worse, a warning. Social media turned the mystery into a sensation. Grainy photos of shadows on rooftops went viral. A TikTok video claiming to capture the assassin jumping between buildings racked up millions of views. Hashtags like #RooftopAssassin and #UtahMystery trended for weeks. Everyone had a theory. Some swore it was an ex-soldier hiding in plain sight. Others thought it was a masked vigilante taking justice into their own hands. A few conspiracy theorists even connected it to secret government experiments. insisting the figure's speed and agility weren't natural. But then came the first real scare accident that didn't feel like an accident. A small bookstore in town had its skylight shattered in the middle of the night. When the owner opened the shop the next morning, he found one of the same cryptic symbols painted inside, right on the floor beneath the skylight. Nothing was stolen, nothing else was damaged. It's just a broken window and a chilling message. The police brushed it off as vandalism, but to the townspeople, it felt like a direct calling card by this point. Fear had taken hold. Parents warned their kids not to stay out late. Businesses installed extra cameras. Neighbors formed watch groups, scanning rooftops with flashlights at night. Yet, despite all this, the figure was never caught on clear video. Somehow, they always managed to evade detection as if they knew exactly where every camera was. What unsettled people the most was the silence. The figure never spoke, never interacted, never left behind anything but symbols and shattered glass. It wasn't robbery, it wasn't random. It was deliberate, and it was terrifying. The rooftop assassin mystery was no longer just a local legend. It was becoming something much bigger. The more people talked about it, the stranger the sightings became. Some swore they saw glowing eyes. Others claimed the figure could vanish into thin air. Whether these accounts were exaggerations or not, the legend had grown beyond the control of the authorities. And yet the real question remained unanswered. Who was this shadow on the rooftops? And what did they want? The rooftop assassin mystery had shifted from local gossip to national fascination almost overnight. News crews descended on Utah, hoping to capture the shadowy figure or at least interview someone who had seen it. What they found was a community divided, some terrified, others almost proud that their quiet town had become the stage for one of the strangest mysteries in recent history, that the media's involvement only escalated things. Every grainy photo, every shaky video clip was broadcast on prime time. Anchors speculated endlessly. Was it a prank? A disturbed individual? Or was this truly something sinister? Talk shows debated the psychology of someone who lurks on rooftops, leaving coded messages behind. Paranormal podcasts claimed the figure was supernatural. Meanwhile, late-night comedians joked about the Utah Batman turning the mystery into meme material. But while the world laughed, the locals weren't amused. The sightings weren't slowing down. In fact, they were escalating. A family reported waking up to loud thuds on their roof, only to find another symbol etched into the shingles the next morning. A school custodian swore he saw the figure leap from the gymnasium rooftop and vanish into the woods. Even more chilling, a high school student captured a blurry image of the silhouette crouched on the roof of their school, staring down at the parking lot full of cars. The cryptic symbols became the biggest point of debate. Linguists, conspiracy theorists, and amateur codebreakers online all tried to crack the meaning. Some claimed it was an old military code. Others argued it was tied to ancient runes. Few suggested it was simply gibberish designed to scare people. But one theory gained traction, that the symbols marked specific people or places connected to a hidden agenda. Law enforcement could no longer dismiss the situation as vandalism. A special task force was assembled, led by detectives with experience in gang symbols and unusual crimes. They canvassed neighborhoods, collected evidence from rooftops, and interviewed witnesses. Yet no solid leads emerged. Every sighting ended the same way, the figure disappearing without a trace. No footprints, no fingerprints, no DNA. To add fuel to the fire, an anonymous YouTube channel began uploading videos claiming to have insider knowledge of the rooftop assassin. The videos were cryptic, showing close-ups of the symbols and distorted audio clips of someone whispering. Fans speculated that this was either the assassin themselves or someone trying to send a message. The channel gained thousands of subscribers in days, and each upload sent the online community into a frenzy of theories. Meanwhile, the accidents or attacks as some called them, grew bolder. A restaurant had its roof partially collapse after what witnesses described as something heavy landing on it. No one was hurt, but diners swore they heard footsteps running across the rooftop seconds before the ceiling gave way. A local Hardware store reported its security cameras mysteriously cutting out right before one of the symbols appeared on its rooftop. Fear turned into paranoia. People stopped walking alone at night. Children whispered about the assassin in hushed tones at school, daring each other to stay out after dark. The rooftop assassin had become more than a figure, was now a psychological presence haunting the entire town. And then came the first direct confrontation. A neighborhood watch volunteer claimed he spotted the figure late one night and tried to follow. He described the chase as surreal. The figure leaped from roof to roof with inhuman speed, never stumbling, never slowing down. When the volunteer finally cornered it on a dead-end rooftop, the figure turned, stared directly at him, and then vanished into the shadows. The man swore he heard a whisper as it disappeared, "Not yet." That single phrase reignited every theory online. Was the assassin planning something bigger? Were the symbols building toward an event? Theories of an ultimate target spread like wildfire. Some believed the figure was preparing to strike a powerful individual in the city. Others claimed it was a vigilante marking corrupt businesses. The scariest theory of all suggested the symbols were a countdown. Investigators now faced mounting pressure. With every passing week, the rooftop assassin was less of a mystery and more of a looming threat. Journalists demanded answers, residents demanded safety, and online communities demanded the truth. But the only person who seemed to hold the answers was the figure itself, and it wasn't talking by this point. The rooftop assassin wasn't just a Utah mystery, it was a global obsession. People across the world tuned in every night, waiting for the next sighting, the next symbol, the next clue. And everyone knew it was only a matter of time before the assassin made their next move. By now, the rooftop assassin had become more than a mystery, it was a phenomenon. The town was split between fear and fascination. News outlets camped outside. Rooftops at night, live streams drew millions of viewers hoping to catch a glimpse of the shadow. And online forums exploded with theories about who or what this figure was. But for investigators, the clock was ticking. The assassin wasn't just leaving cryptic symbols anymore. The sense of an approaching climax was undeniable. The breakthrough came in the form of a symbol unlike the others. It's painted in red instead of black. It appeared on the roof of City Hall. This one wasn't abstract. It was a clear countdown, a large number 7, for detectives. It was the first concrete clue suggesting the assassin wasn't just playing games, but building toward something. When the number 6 appeared 2 nights later on the public library, the panic was undeniable. The countdown theory went viral. Everyone wondered what happens when the numbers reach 0. Some believed it would signal a public attack. Others thought it would reveal the assassin's true identity. The most chilling theory was that it marked the number of days until something catastrophic. The countdown had turned the entire city into a ticking time bomb. Law enforcement ramped up surveillance, installing hidden cameras, drones, and rooftop patrols. Yet, the assassin continued to move undetected, striking rooftops miles apart within minutes, almost as if taunting the authorities. Each symbol grew larger, more elaborate, as though the assassin wanted the entire city to see. Then came the night of 3. A downtown church reported hearing heavy footsteps on its roof during midnight mass. When parishioners rushed outside, they found the glowing red number freshly painted above them. The congregation gasped as the figure was spotted briefly on the steeple, silhouetted against the moonlight before vanishing. Witnesses swore they heard the same whisper from before, "Not yet." At this point, national security officials stepped in, fearing the assassin was orchestrating an act of terror. But while the experts theorized, the locals whispered a different narrative. Some believed the assassin was not a villain, but a messenger, someone trying to warn the town of corruption or an impending disaster. After all, no one had been physically harmed. The damage was symbolic, psychological. Was this a vigilante exposing secrets, or a predator preparing for a grand finale? On the night the countdown hit one, tension gripped the city like never before. Reporters crowded the streets. Police helicopters circled overhead. Residents barricaded themselves inside, too scared to even peek outside their windows. Every rooftop was scanned, every shadow inspected. Yet, somehow, the assassins still made their move. A massive one appeared atop the courthouse, painted in crimson strokes so wide they could be seen from blocks away, and then silence. 24 hours the city held its breath, waiting for zero. Some prayed nothing would happen. Others prepared for the worst. Midnight struck, and every eye turned skyward. When the morning sun rose, the city gasped. There, on the tallest building downtown, was the final symbol. A giant red circle enclosing the words, "Look up." No number, no chaos. Just two words that left everyone shaken. Investigators swarmed the rooftop but found no trace of the figure. Cameras that should have caught the moment mysteriously glitched at the exact hour the symbol was painted. Drones reported interference as if scrambled by an unknown signal. To this day, no one can explain how the assassin pulled it off. The message became a cultural obsession. Look up. What did it mean? Some said it was a warning that corruption and secrets always hide above us in places we never check. Others believed it was spiritual, urging humanity to seek higher meaning. And a few insisted it was literal, that something greater, perhaps extraterrestrial, was involved. But one fact was certain. The rooftop assassin was never caught. The sighting stopped after the final symbol, leaving behind only rumors, theories, and fear. For Utah, the mystery remains unsolved. For the world, it became legend. The assassin never killed, never stole, never revealed their face. Instead, they turned an entire city into their stage, leaving behind a mystery that may never be solved. And to this day, when the moon is high and the rooftops are silent, people still glance upward, wondering if the shadow is watching, waiting, ready to return. The rooftop assassin may have vanished, but the legend lives on. From the first mysterious sightings to the countdown symbols that painted the city in fear. This story has become more than just a local mystery. It's a chilling reminder of how quickly shadows can take over our imagination. And the final message, look up, still haunts the streets of Utah and the minds of everyone who followed the case. Was it a warning about corruption hiding in plain sight? Was it a spiritual message urging us to seek something greater? Or was it simply the final laugh of a figure who thrived on confusion and fear? We may never know. But that uncertainty is exactly what makes the rooftop assassin so unforgettable. The bigger question is, did the story really end? Or is the figure simply waiting for the right moment to return? Legends like this don't just die. They linger, whispered about in late-night conversations, shared in classrooms, and posted online by those who swear they've seen a shadow where none should be. But now it's your turn. Do you think the rooftop assassin was a vigilante, a trickster, or something even darker? Was the countdown building toward a grand finale? Or was the finale simply the mystery itself? Drop your theories in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and share this with your crew. Because mysteries like this, they never truly disappear.